Welcome back to the final day of the Red 8 Decade Oscars with your host Dylan McKercher, aka user Dilly32, and today is what you've all been waiting for. We have two categories to show, but they may be the two most important. Up first is Best Director, and ultimately, a movie's success or failure lies on their shoulders, and these five went above and beyond to craft some of the decade's most iconic films. In fact, all five also had their film nominated for Best Picture.
Every cast member was infected by this idea that you could reimagine these great old movies.
And someday as I sing the song, a small town kid will come along. That'll be the thing to push him on and go.
What is that? Is there a script?
You better give us all roles!
When we were casting up the movie, part of the appeal to me was that you know Ryan and Emma, they're going to be a couple. You can see them and imagine them together. It was like Fred and Ginger or Bogart and Bacall, a classic Hollywood screen couple.
You have two actors who have an on-screen chemistry that I think is one for the ages.
The idea of this really modern story of two struggling artists and dreamers became something really exciting very quickly.
It was a secret wish of mine to make a film in the style of musicals from the 30s and 40s.
We talked about it initially like not really having a look. You know, I mean, part of, you know, the hardship of working at Harvard, because they weren't very helpful. To say they weren't very helpful would be giving them actually a grade. They sandbagged us and they were atrocious as far as what they would allow us to do. So we ended up not being able to do anything at Harvard, and part of the reality of what we were faced with to shoot was it's going to be a lot of what's there, because we can't bring in 20Ks and we can't do. So even when we went to Baltimore, we ended up going to Johns Hopkins and shooting there. We just tried to keep it minimal, you know. It was really a movie about kids' faces.
Visually, we lit it to keep you intrigued by the textures of what that experience was. Harvard is entirely old 300, 200-year-old buildings with dark wood, practical lights, and so it's kind of different than a modern college, and so we wanted that environment to come through.
You know, we looked at a lot of location photographs of you know, Kirkland and the different areas in the Harvard Quad, and kind of went, you know, that looks pretty good, that looks pretty real.
Film as an art is a very fragmented kind of a juxtaposition of different pieces, create a story. As you know, we are shooting these long takes, no cuts, fluidness, unity. So it's gonna be the ultimate collaboration kind of thing. I will kill myself to make this the best. And I'm not superstitious, but I think that if we don't do it, we will be fucked. So, once we are basically hold hands and making a circle, we all has to say Ava Eli, okay? Ava Eli, ready? 1, 2, 3, Ava Eli!
With Alejandro, it was always about the project, about the movie, about the story, about it being really good and really being heartfelt. So it's exhilarating to be around someone like that, and that seldom happens.
And action.
It was twice the size of a normal hair.
It's good, huh?
He's incredible.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
I think he's drinking real gin.
What?
Talk about the rich and poor in this era, in this age, in this time. So in everyday life, we always encounter those kind of who is rich, who is poor, and why kind of question almost every day. It's quite natural to create those kind of story as a contemporary filmmaker, I think.
The first scene is view from my house.
한국에선 반지하라고 하죠. Semi basement is very specific the way of the Korean living for the poor people, but actually semi basement means also semi overground.
Yeah, so it gives you like a little bit of hope, because it's not like fully underground, but it's half away.
Actually, yeah, this is it looks like a real location, but actually it's all
made up set. Yeah, so this whole street, this building.
Actually, until
there.
This is the borderline.
Yeah.
This is the whole set. The more far background is the VFX.
About 12 years ago,
I was on a long flight between Los Angeles and Sydney, and the movie Fury Road came unbidden and played in my head.
Here we go!
And by the time I landed, I told my colleagues, I think I've got another Mad Max movie. It was an opportunity to use the new technologies and yet still do real people and vehicles in chaos.
Dramatizing story that's in constant movement is very, very tricky. But to George, it's what he thrives in.
Remember to drive, yeah?
George is an absolute genius. And he just puts his heart and soul into every detail.
I've been working with George for about 35 years, and I've never seen George back away from what he has to do. He never takes the easy way through.
Oh, reaching up and
George will ask you to do things which may seem insane.
In a landslide victory, Parasite continues to devour its competition, going 5 for 5 in awards, taking Best Director.
잡힌다!
진짜? 잡혔어?
잡히지? 이거 커피나라 2지? 이 근처에 카페 새로 생긴 건가?
뭐야, 왜 나 안 잡히지?
이거 바싹 올라와봐.
얘들아? 되는 거야?
돼.
자, 그러면은 자, 카톡 한번 확인해봐. 자, 피자 시대 연락 준다 그랬거든.
잠깐만. 여기 있네. 피자 시대. 와, 이것 좀 한번 보세요들. 우리도 이 속도라면 오늘 중에 이거 다 끝낼 수 있을 것 같은데?
And here we are, Best Picture. The last month has all led up to this, and while polling, we did 2 votes for Best Picture. One was our favorites, and the other was to rank 1 through 10 for preferential ballot voting. And, well, we had a 3-way tie for our favorites of the decade, but a singular winner in preferential. So let's check out our 10 nominations in their yearly order before we say who won what.
Crashing there for a little bit while I'm taking care of some things, but she's done for the summer, so she's back at her parents' place.
The homeless rock star Palazzo.
All right. What's your plan for the summer? What? I'm sorry, I was looking at the architecture. I asked what your plan for the
100
summer.
schools by the end of the summer.
We're gonna go to the restroom.
Okay. Your date looks so familiar to me. She looks familiar to a lot of people. What do you mean? A Stanford MBA named Roy Raymond wants to buy his wife some lingerie, but he's too embarrassed to shop for it in a department store. He comes up with an idea for a high-end place that doesn't make you feel like a pervert. He gets a $40,000 bank loan, borrows another $40,000 from his in-laws, opens a store and calls it Victoria's Secret. Makes $500,000 his first year. Starts a catalog, opens 3 more stores, and after 5 years, he sells the company to Leslie Wexner and the Limited for $4 million. Happy ending, right? Except 2 years later, the company's worth $500 million, and Roy Raymond jumps off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Hello? Who are you? I'm Peter Brand. What do you do? I'm special assistant to Mark Shapiro. So what do you do? Mostly player analysis right now.
Been on the job long? First job in baseball?
It's my first job anywhere.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
First job. Whose nephew are you? Why does Mark listen to you?
I don't think he does very often.
He just did.
Well, in that circumstance, I think he was more listening to Bruce than myself.
Who are you?
I'm Peter Brand.
I don't give a rat's ass what your name is. What happened in there? What happened in that room?
I'm not quite
quite sure what you're asking me, Mr. Bean.
What did you tell Bruce?
Just told Bruce I like Garcia.
You like Garcia. Why? Why?
Like you expect Jesus to come back. Expect me, nigga.
Second key to success in this racket is this little baby right here. It's called cocaine. Right. It will keep you sharp between the ears. It'll also help your fingers dial faster. And guess what? That's good for me. Yes, sir. Revolutions. You follow? Revolutions. Keep the clients on the Ferris wheel. And it goes. The park is open 24/7, 365. Every decade, every goddamn century. That's it. Name of the game. How kitty? Thank you. Mm-hmm. 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 Come on. Mm-hmm. With a common denominator. Keep it up for me. See how we roll. How the money comes in, the parade comes to town. Going down Broadway is a one-way street, whichever way.
You spent your whole life building a bank account and a reputation, and you blew both. Good for you. Fuck it. We'll make a comeback. They're waiting for something huge. We'll give it to them. Shave off that pathetic goatee. Get some surgery. 60's the new 30, motherfucker. You were the original, man. You paved the way for all these other little clowns. Give the people what they want. Some good old-fashioned apocalyptic porn. Birdman, The Phoenix Rises. Pimple-faced gamers screaming in their pants. 1 billion worldwide, guaranteed. You were launching a knife, man. You save people from their boring, miserable lives. You make them jump, laugh, shit their pants. All you have to do is... That's what I'm talking about. Bones rattling, big, loud, fast. Look at these people. Look at their eyes. They're all sparkling. They love this shit. They love blood. They love action. Not this talky, depressing, philosophical bullshit. Yes. And the next time you screech, it'll explode into millions of eardrums. You'll glimmer on thousands of screens around the globe. Another blockbuster. You are a god. See? There you go, you motherfucker.
Where were you, Max?
You let us die!
You let us die! You let us die! You promised to help us!
love you. Help. Help. Help me.
Shit! Chris!
I mean, I told you not to go in that house. How you find me? I'm TS motherfucking A. We handle shit. That's what we do. Consider this situation. Fucking handle.
I am a person of honor, even if my station is not. Even if I were the last one left in this wretched place, I would remain a lady.
You're pretty when outraged. So my secrets are safe with you?
All of them.
Good.
Even your biggest secret.
Abigail. If you forget to load the pellet, the gun fires, makes a sound, but releases no shot. It is a great jape, do you agree?
Yes.
Maybe we will think of a use for it one day. Sometimes it is hard to remember whether you have loaded the pellet or not. I do fear confusion and accidents.
I'm sure people will be careful.
집에서 생일 잔치한 날. 그날 밤늦게 식구들은 다들 잠들었는데 다송이가 몰래 부엌에 내려와서 냉장고에 생일 케이크 남은 걸 다시 꺼낸 거야. 아, 그 케이크 생크림이 기가 막혔거든. 애가 침대에 누워서도 자꾸 생각이 난 거지. 그래서 요 앞에 앉아서 다송이가 케이크를 막 먹다가 깍 소리에 막 내가 막 뛰어내려와 보니까 애가 완전히 막 눈알이 이렇게 막 뒤로 바들바들 경기를 거품을 물고 애를 키우면서 애 경기 나는 거 본 적 있어요?
아니요.
그게 응급처치를 15분 안에 못하면 진짜 끝장이거든. 최단 시간 내에 병원 응급실에 도착을 해야 돼요. 그게 15분은.
아니 어떡해. First off, I would say this. This was so much fun to put on for the last month, and if you have another Oscar-type polling or video concept you want up next, let me know down below. But setting up these polls, collecting votes, editing these videos, and hosting was a blast. But without further ado, and holding you on for any longer, let's check out the results. And up first, we have the favorite poll, which saw La La Land, Parasite, and The Social Network have a three-way tie on top. They all received 20.1% of the vote, with Mad Max Fury Road and Birdman rounding out the top 5, as The Wolf of Wall Street and Get Out tie in 6th, then Django Unchained in the favorite tie for 8th, and Moneyball is in last place. As you can see, the total votes on screen now. While flipping to the preferential ballot voting, this is what we'll use to determine our winner for the decade. And if you want to know how this voting took place, we ranked each film from 1 to 10, 1 being first, 10th being our least favorite. And if you came in first on the poll, you got 10 points. If you came in second, you got 9, and so on and so forth, till 10th, which you got 1 point. So we added up all the points, and that's how we determined our order. And starting off in 10th, we have Moneyball, which received 1,695 points. An interesting fact here is that it received the 6th most votes for first place, but by far had the most points for last. Coming in 9th is Django Unchained. Tarantino's 2012 film couldn't snag enough top half votes and found its majority placement between 6 and 8, receiving 1,765 points. And personally, this is my favorite film of the batch here, and it came in 9th. In 8th, with 1,777 points, we have The Favorite, which skewed lower in nearly everyone's ballot, however had a very strong showing for the 3rd and 4th place spots. Then The Wolf of Wall Street snagged 7th. Scorsese's 2013 film had the least first place votes of all participants, but had the majority of its placement between 6th and 8th, getting 1,841 points. Next in 6th, we had Jordan Peele's Get Out. The 2017 horror film had a very strong performance, which was surprising to me because if you look online, a lot of people like to hate on this movie, but it got a majority of its love between 4th and 6th place with a total of 1,871 points. Kicking off the top 5 is Birdman with 1,955 points. The One Take film had a lot of Best Picture love, but also had people who placed it in last. A very different skewing film on the spectrum. The first film to eclipse 2,000 points with 2,135 is Mad Max Fury Road, and 4th. The action thriller didn't have much first place love, but had nearly all of its votes placed in the top 6. That leaves us with our three-way tie we had for the favorites on our favorite Best Picture poll, which was 2016's La La Land, 2019's Parasite, and 2010's The Social Network. But coming in 3rd was La La Land. The musical had a similar skew to Birdman, getting a lot of love on top, but also having some 9th and 10th place votes, which brought it down ultimately for a total of 2,169 points. And our runner-up with 2,289 points is 2010's The Social Network. 3 of its 4 top earning categories were first, second, and third on the balloting. But that means in first is Parasite. Parasite snagged 2,655 points, which dominated this field. You could go down and down through the rankings and only take a percentage of Parasite's total vote, and it would still top other films. In fact, Parasite only needed its top 5 votes to win the award, having earned a total of 2,655 points in total. So to close out, it's only right to let Parasite get the last word after having gone 6 for 6 in its categories. But for one last time, this is your host Dylan McCurcher with the Reddit Decade Oscars. signing off.
근데 지금 봐. 다 같이 마룻바닥에서 저자고 있잖아. 우리도 그렇고. 그러니까 계획이 없어야 돼, 사람은. 계획이 없으니까 뭐가 잘못될 일도 없고, 또 애초부터 아무 계획이 없으니까 뭐가 터져도 다 상관없는 거야. 사람을 죽이건 나라를 팔아먹건 시발 다 상관없다 이 말이지. 알겠어?